Good morning. This is Beth Clay, Executive Director of the International Chiropractors Association. It's October 27th, 2021, and I'm getting out of my comfort zone here to report to you what happened yesterday in the state of Illinois. On Monday night, Dr. Brant Husselbus, our representative assembly member from the state of Illinois, reached out to tell us there would be a hearing at 3:30 the next day in the Executive Committee of the House of Representatives in Illinois. The hearing is regarding Amendment Number 2 for the bill SB 1169. The bill that is passed in the Senate of the State House has to do with transition services for children with disabilities in the school system. Amendment Number 2 is not germane to that topic at all. It is regarding an exception to be inserted into the law regarding health care right of conscience. The issue of germaneness is something the parliamentarian will have to address. But what I want to talk to you about right now is about what this amendment will do for citizens in the state of Illinois. It will take away your right to say no. It will take away the rights of healthcare professionals to say no. And the reason this amendment has been proposed is to stop the lawsuits that are already filed in the state of Illinois for people who have been fired from their jobs for using a religious exemption to say they will not be vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine. Firefighters, police officers, nurses, teachers, other personnel in hospitals and schools, and in other companies, major corporations that are based in the state of Illinois. They're facing lawsuits and the liability of having violated the Health Care Right of Conscience Act by taking these types of actions against their employees. If this exception becomes law, you will no longer have the right to say no to the government mandates on COVID-19 or to an employer's mandates or within the school system, a mandate. These were discussed in detail by certain members of the committee, asking questions and clarification. It was quite disturbing during the hearing to have the attorneys and the sponsor of the amendment to suggest that this is a clarification to the law. The truth is, the language of the amendment says that it's an exception to the law. And what that means is that the Healthcare Right of Conscience Act would not be enforced dealing with anything dealing with COVID-19. The language of the amendment, the language of the law itself, really matters. They all tried to say, the attorneys representing the state and the governor, and the amendment sponsor repeatedly stated that the legislative intent that was behind the passage of the law was more important than the actual statutory language of the law. I almost fell out of my chair laughing. And any lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer, but I have written laws at the federal level. Any lawyer that was listening would have also had the same response because statutory language is law. The legislative intent provides instruction when the law is not clear. And in the appellate courts and at the Supreme Court level, they use the legislative intent to provide clarification when the law is not clear. It does not override the actual text of the law. That was disturbing to those of us who were watching. Dr. Husselbus was watching in Illinois, and I was watching here in Falls Church. Why does this matter? Because if you live in the state of Illinois, your rights are about to be taken away if this becomes law. And it got one step closer to becoming law last night when, after 2 hours of back and forth with questions and discussion, there was a vote, and it came down to a party line vote, sadly. 49,700 people took the time. 49,700 people took the time to go online, fill out the witness slip, and say they opposed this amendment. 700 people took the time to go online and say they supported the amendment. And it passed on a party line vote. 49,700 versus 700. It seems that the decision was made before the hearing where the vote would go. So what happens next? This amendment will go to the House floor in Illinois, and there will be a vote. So if you live in the state and you care about your freedom, you need to be involved. If you don't live in the state of Illinois and you care about your freedom, you need to be monitoring what happens. The ICA is involved. We provided written testimony. We will stay involved. We will be reaching out to legislators. We will be working with our members in the state of Illinois, and we will do what it takes. If you want to read our testimony, go to chiropractic.org. Click on the flag of Illinois, which is on the front page. It leads to the press release that has the link to the actual testimony. In that testimony, you will see the language of the Healthcare Right of Conscience Act, as well as the amendment. You will also see information provided from experts regarding conscience and religious exemption and the importance of abiding by them. We're at an interesting time in our history as a country where healthcare freedoms are being taken without people realizing it. The ICA Board of Directors feels so strongly about this that we issued a new policy statement in August. It's also on the website. And it's also attached to the back of the testimony. Your right to healthcare freedom is an inalienable right granted to you by our Creator, and that's acknowledged in our U.S. Constitution, that it is the Creator, not a government, that grants those rights. And in the state of Illinois, they have further acknowledged that through this healthcare right of conscience, and that's about to be removed if this exception goes into place. ICA is not anti-anything. I'm not anti-anything. I have been called anti-vaccine in the media. I am not. I am pro personal choice. I am pro healthcare freedom. You be informed, you make your decisions. The board of directors of the ICA and the Home Office will continue to work to protect and promote chiropractic worldwide. We will continue to work to promote and protect health freedom so that you as a provider and you as a patient have the right, maintain the right to make your own healthcare choices. We need to focus on doing the right thing for the right reasons. Taking away anybody's individual choice is never the right reason. And we're going to continue to fight for that. Taking away the right of a patient to say no, the right of an individual to be coerced into having a medical procedure or treatment, or taking a product, drug, or biologic by force is never okay. We live in a free society and we must fight to protect that. Again, I'm out of my comfort zone here. This is unscripted, but I needed to tell you what's going on in Illinois because it will, if it goes unchecked, spread the same way the other issues we're fighting at the ICA to protect and promote chiropractic, the things in British Columbia, issues in other places in the country and around the world that we're focused on protecting your rights as a profession to do the job you're trained to do, to help patients. And those of you who are patients or just private citizens, to protect your rights to make your own healthcare decisions, not because a governor or a president or anybody in the government says you have to, but because you're informed and you make your own choices based on your own conscience and your own informed consent. Thank you. Please check out our website, chiropractic.org, and have a great day.